Tommy?
Tonight we are talking one of my absolute favorite Halloween films, The Curse of Michael Myers. Stay tuned. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. I appreciate you tuning in for another brand new review. Tonight, we are going to be talking Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, one of my absolute favorite Halloween films. Excited to finally talk about that here on the show. Of course, folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, no matter where you are tuning in to check out this review. We got a lot of great horror content up on the channel, a lot of really fun stuff coming up for you guys as well, too. But let's not waste any time. Let's jump right on into things here. If you have not seen the trailer for Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, 6 years after the event of Halloween 5, Michael Myers has returned to Haddonfield in search of his niece Jamie Lloyd and her new baby. After dispatching Jamie, Michael is unable to track down his only living relative, and when this baby ends up in the care of Tommy Doyle, it'll be up to Tommy and Dr. Loomis to finally put an end to Michael for once and for all. There it is, folks. That is Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Now, fun fact about this film. This was the first Halloween movie that I ever had a chance to see from start to finish. Prior to catching this film on VHS back in the day, I had mostly seen snippets and bits and clips of the original film and Halloween 4. Now, Halloween 4, for those that know me, that is without question my absolute favorite Halloween film in the franchise. I love the character of Jamie Lloyd. I think Danielle Harris did a fantastic job in that role. There is something so terrifying about not just having a slasher, but an established slasher start going after children. There is some real heightened terror in there. And then, of course, that ending of Halloween 4, where Jamie has just finished stabbing her adopted mother. And again, we don't know if she's dead or not, right? Like, we never found out whether or not she actually killed her and she just stabbed her a couple times. Either way, Jamie stabs her adoptive mother with the scissors, has Michael's like clown getup on and everything, and Dr. Loomis is trying to kill her and he's stopped by the sheriff. Like, such a great ending. And that film stuck with me for so long. And I did that thing that a lot of us do as kids, where now you think you're an expert on that particular horror villain, even though you haven't seen any of the movies. Most of the knowledge you have is secondhand knowledge from people talking on the playground or the basketball court or whatever. And then you just kind of regurgitating that and making the story for yourself. That had a completely different idea of what Halloween was about, but I knew Michael Myers. I knew the William Shatner Kirk mask and everything. And so I thought I had enough information going into it at the time. I'm living in California, and not next door neighbors, but across the street, these kids that I was friends with, that we used to hang out, play video games, stuff like that all the time. Their dad used to just have all of these endless amount of movies. Like, he had a great film collection, and he had a lot of really good horror films. And at one point, I borrowed a video that had Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. It had the original Friday the 13th, and something else. Can't remember what the third film was, but at least had the original Friday the 13th and Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. And y'all, let me tell you, when I saw this film, scariest like slasher I had ever seen at the time. Oh, and you know, the 11 or 12 years I had been alive at that time, but it was the scariest thing I had seen. For those who don't like this film, and we'll back up just a bit here. A lot of people don't like The Curse of Michael Myers because it takes out a lot of the ambiguity that we had about Myers, like leading up into this film, about why he was doing what he was doing, what his motivations were, who was involved behind this, all the ancillary characters around him, including Dr. Loomis or Laurie Strode or Jamie Lloyd. Like, all of these questions were coming into The Curse of Michael Myers. And if it's the first Halloween film that you see, honestly, it is fairly straightforward and easy to follow along with why everything is happening. But I didn't know that going into it, that the original film and even the original two films, outside of saying that Michael and Laurie are brother and sister, that there isn't any other motivation behind it. And Michael is just evil. He is evil personified, and that is that. And I get that that is very scary, but I'm a guy who likes things that have motives. I like things to like show me how they work. And so Michael being basically used by this cult to go out and carry out these killings, and like it's the living embodiment of evil because of this cult, that was more than enough for me. I don't care that you don't make a lot of sense out of it. The little sense that it did make really stuck with me. I didn't have an issue with it. This cult infiltrated Michael's home as a kid, and they placed this curse upon him. And from that day forward, Michael was the living embodiment of evil. And this cult has used him time to time throughout the years for killings that they have specifically wanted. And Tommy Doyle and Dr. Loomis have stumbled upon this secret, and now they are directly involved with it. To me, it makes all the sense in the world. It is incredibly straightforward, and it gives Michael some necessary motivation, but a lot of people didn't like it because it takes away, again, the ambiguity of Michael just being this unrelentless killing machine who's doing it for reasons unknown. And I respect people who love that, but I like answers. I'm a big fan of answers, and the Cult of Thorn, honestly, is such an easy answer to go along with. And it highlights the reason why I am such a big fan of Halloween 4, why that's my favorite film in the franchise, because 4, 5, and 6 work as their own trilogy within the Halloween franchise. This is the Cult of Thorn trilogy, where we're introduced to Jamie Lloyd and the cult playing a role in everything that's going on. And we end that with the curse of Michael Myers, with the cult fully revealed at this point, with Jamie dead and Michael missing by the end of the film. God, yeah, and I should probably like just lay out more of the story here for it, because I did give you a little bit of that earlier on here. But again, the idea here is that it's 6 years after Halloween 5. Jamie has been kidnapped by this cult, Michael presumably as well too. And Jamie has been impregnated with a child, with one of the biggest things coming out of Curse that a lot of folks are having issues with is that all signs point to this kid being Michael's kid, that Michael is the one that impregnated Jamie, but we're not gonna really touch that all too much, because then we get into some very unscrupulous questions there about the franchise itself. But that's the kind of idea here, is that Jamie is pregnant. This cult is going to do something here with this child, whether that means this child is set to be the next Michael Myers or whatever the question is. But either way, Jamie is ultimately caught and killed by Michael, and Michael is trying to track down this child. This child is found by Tommy Doyle in Haddonfield, played by Paul Rudd, and only his second film appearance. And it's kind of funny because he did Clueless, obviously, the same year that this came out, 1995, but he would have shot Clueless, and literally weeks after Clueless, going on to start filming this. So it's always fun to like really debate like what was his real first film, honestly, but Clueless did get filmed first, so technically this is number 2 here. But Paul Rudd does a great job here as Tommy Doyle. Our only reference for Tommy at this point would have been the first movie as one of the kids that Laurie Strode is babysitting. And obviously we are fast forwarding years and years after that crazy eventful night happened, and Laurie Strode is firmly dead now in the continuity. And from there, now this new Tommy Doyle has become obsessed with Michael Myers in Haddonfield and all the evil that has been going around in his town. He hears Jamie Lloyd crying out on a radio call, trying to get Dr. Loomis to help her. And again, Tommy ends up finding Jamie's child. And from there, Michael ends up coming after the child, as well as a number of other Haddonfield residents as well, too. As in addition to following Tommy Doyle and Dr. Loomis, we are also following the Strodes. Now, here's where things get a little bit more complicated, because we know that after Halloween 2, we find out that Laurie had the daughter, Jamie Lloyd. Laurie's also dead. She died in a car accident as well. But we find out Laurie was adopted. That is why her name is not, last name is not Myers, basically. She was adopted by the Strode family. So the family we're watching here and the Curse of Michael Myers are directly related to Laurie's own foster family at this point. Like I technically I think Laurie would be their niece, their adoptive niece is the way you would look at that. But the Strodes here, you got some winners in this family here for sure, y'all. John Strode, who is probably one of the most hated characters in any slasher movie, nevertheless, any horror film that you have ever seen. This is a guy who absolutely brought on the very, very diabolical death that he gets. He's a little shocked by this one that he gets here in this film. But man, if there was a character ever asking to get off by Michael Myers, John Strode would be the one. He is terrible. He is the worst character in the Halloween franchise. Worst as in you just hate this man so much. He is god-awful here. But with the Strode family, we are following along Kara Strode and her son Danny, and we start to find out that Danny is also being targeted by this cult for the same reason that Michael was targeted as well too. And there's an idea here again that Danny will move forward being the personification of evil as well. And what makes this movie and the whole Cult of Thorn trilogy so interesting is that it does seemingly have a lot in common with David Gordon Green's recent Halloween trilogy of Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. The whole idea of what Michael Myers means to Haddonfield and the evil that he brings and what he brings out in the residents to where they just become this roving mob and evil dies tonight. And then we're watching Corey Cunningham in Halloween Ends become Michael as well too. A lot of what's going on in there seems to very, very much honor what we're seeing in the Cult of Thorn trilogy, especially a lot of what's going on here in the Curse of Michael Myers. Now, to that, though, I guess the problem would be that a lot of you did not like David Gordon Green's Halloween trilogy. I'm a big fan of it. To me, there's not really bad Halloween out there, so I don't have an issue there with it, even if I like some more than others. But it doesn't change the fact, though, that if a lot of you aren't fans of what David Gordon Green did in his trilogy, you're not going to be a fan of the Cult of Thorn trilogy either. And that sucks, because I actually believe that Michael here in Curse of Michael Myers is the most brutal, the most unrelentless, the most evil that he's been in any of these films. And he's done a lot of dastardly stuff, especially in David Gordon Green's trilogy. He has done a lot of killing in there that's like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, you have no sympathy for anybody. He's killing kids in David Gordon Green's trilogy. Let's be clear about that. Michael killed some kids in that trilogy here for sure, but it just seems like in the Curse of Michael Myers, Michael is done at this point. Like it's like he realizes the shit that he has been put through in 4 previous Halloween films, because we don't count Halloween 3, but it's like he realized all that and said, you know what? Y'all done pissed me off. I'm coming for everybody right now. And it just feels like that, right? If you go back and watch those films, it seems like he's putting some extra anger into every kill he's doing, which understandable, Mike. You've been going through a lot over the decades now. But it's a very different feeling Michael Myers compared to the other sightings of him that we get in these other films. I think the chase scenes are a lot scarier in this one, honestly. Like Michael chasing Tommy and Kara and Danny throughout the catacombs of Smith's Grove, I think is fantastic. I think the ending, even though it is very ambiguous, and I know the producer's cut is out there that makes more sense of it, but we're not really talking about that here. But even the ending, that's confusing as hell, with Tommy beating the absolute hell out of Michael Myers and leaving him laying, to where the point is, like, I don't know if it's necessarily we're supposed to think Michael is dead, but Michael is out of commission long enough for them to get away. And then presumably Dr. Loomis is killed by Michael Myers at that point, because we're not really given a clear ending. And Donald Pleasence, obviously, this wasn't too long before he ended up passing away. So I don't know. I like the original version of this film. I have the producer's cut. I've seen that before. I enjoy that one as well too, but I am a huge fan of this original version of the film. I have a lot of childhood memories with this one, honestly. The story itself, again, is very, very clear. And even if you have seen the other Halloween films by the time you've seen this one, in my opinion, you look at this one and you're given very clear answers for everything that's been going on in this franchise. To me, that should make it hard to not enjoy it the way that I do. But I understand some folks just like that ambiguity. Folks, I'm real with you on this one here. This is one of my favorite horror films, and while it doesn't reach the heights of Halloween 4 for me, again, that nostalgia, that relationship that I have with it, the fact that I think that Michael Myers is probably the best that he's been in any of these Halloween films. I think Paul Rudd's Tommy Doyle is a great protagonist in this one that deserves to be right up there with Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode and with Daniel Harris's Jamie Lloyd. I think Tommy Doyle, played by Paul Rudd, should absolutely be up there. Still lamenting we didn't get him back in Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, but such is life. Either way, though, folks, Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers is going to get a 4 out of 5 for me. This is a solid entry in this long-running franchise, and honestly, believe it or not, I have more reverence for this film than I do for the film that followed it up that a lot of you like, Halloween H2O. I do not enjoy H2O over this film or a lot of other Halloween entries as well too. I am a Cult of Thorn truthist, folks. Truther, the elite, whatever you want to call it there. I'm about the Cult of Thorn. Let's go. All right. So, of course, let me know in the comment section here your thoughts on Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers. I want to hear those thoughts about when you first saw it. Do you prefer Michael being just an unhinged lunatic who has no rhyme or reason for what he's doing? Do you like Myers having a motive here, being pushed forward by this cult for all the evil stuff he's involved in? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And of course, get subscribed to my channel, which the best way to do is to access my link tree. You can do that by going to linktr.ee/T-Scary-Movie. If you get subscribed, that's going to be access to the YouTube page for video versions of the show, your favorite podcasting platforms, the audio-only versions of the show, my Letterboxd page for written reviews and movie rankings throughout the year, my TikTok page for short horror content including movie news, movie premieres, and movie reviews, my Twitch page for horror gaming including Phasmophobia, and my Fangoria shop page where you can enjoy a 20% discount off anything in the Fangoria shop. Take advantage of that, y'all. Hit that subscribe button. You can check out my recent unboxing video of the new Nightmare on Elm Street 7-film collection limited edition steelbox set. I managed to procure one of those, so I have an unboxing video up on the channel for you guys to check out here right now, along with a number of other great timely spooky reviews here for the month of October. You do not want to miss it. We got a lot of great stuff coming up. We're going to be talking Street Trash, the original Toxic Avenger. We're going to be talking The Long Walk. We're going to be talking Good Boy, VHS Halloween. Got a lot of stuff coming up here I do not want y'all to miss. But that's going to do it for me tonight. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Hit that subscribe button. My name is T. We'll be talking scary movies. Stay scared.